have this memory of one of my classmates. He was just like, I can't wait until I'm 16 so I can drop out of school and go be an oysterman with my dad. People said it all the time growing up, believing that there was going to be work for them on the water. Everything we did was centered around the river and the bay and the Gulf of Mexico. I would ride the bus every morning, and as I went through East Point, people would rush to shut the windows because it was so smelly. But that was just because there was lots of oyster shells piled up on the side of the road. A lot of people say that's just the smell of money. And now I drive through East Point and I just don't smell anything.
You have information now that this rig has gone under?
It has gone onto the surface.
At this point, is that oil in danger now of escaping into the sea?
That is correct.
In the spring of 2010, the BP Deepwater Horizon oil spill happened.
We now have a clearer look at what is going on beneath the surface of the Gulf of Mexico, and it is alarming.
Our worst nightmare is coming true. That oil seems bound for the Florida coastline.
20% of the Gulf is now closed to fishermen, both charter and commercial.
BP tried using dispersants to try to get the oil to sink and employed thousands of workers all along the Gulf Coast from Louisiana to Florida, patrolling the waters day after day to check and see if oil had arrived. By that time in 2010, everyone knew that the seafood industry was struggling. Everyone knew that the oysters, there just weren't as many as there used to be. The fact that oil was coming, anyone who lives here is gonna have their livelihood impacted. And any progress that had been made after 2010 was lost in 2018.
Update on Hurricane Michael. Winds currently at 150 miles per hour, guys. This is just a really dangerous storm. Moving quickly to the...
After Hurricane Michael, over 20,000 people were displaced, had to leave, find new homes, find new work, find new jobs.
Once a beautiful coastal town, now transformed into an apocalyptic scene of obliterated homes.
I know so many people who have PTSD and trauma from Hurricane Michael. This storm just completely flipped the world upside down. We've had so many storms this year.
We are now through the alphabet and now have to get into the Greek alphabet, as Amanda noted, alpha, beta, gamma.
There are just more storms happening every year. The oyster industry has been here for 200 years compared to the thousands of years that indigenous people have been here living off of this same water. And now we are at this tipping point of the climate crisis because 400 plus years ago, a new economy was introduced and created that was based on taking land from indigenous people and labor from enslaved Africans. And this take and take and take model of extraction and exploitation has been baked into the laws of this country so that some politicians and rich folks could get richer and the rest of us got screwed over. The mayor had a choice. He could have built a community college or a prison, and he decided to build a prison. And it has created lots of jobs, and they're good paying jobs. It's one of the only jobs you can get and get health care. Everyone's parents worked at the prison by the time I was in high school, it felt like. And now a lot of the people that I went to school with work there too. There are no more oysters, and our oceans are dying, and the jobs that exist here, at the prison, rely on us throwing people away and putting them in cages. And that's not the world that I want to live in. We still feel the impacts of the BP oil spill, but we're still in this battle over fracking. The fossil fuel industry is an existential threat to Florida, which is ground zero for the climate crisis. We cannot sacrifice each other. We cannot sacrifice people. We have an opportunity where we need to break this cycle. When I think about a Green New Deal, this is where I'm thinking about this beach. Every night when my family would walk on this beach, there would be people throwing cast nets to catch mullet, and that a lot of times that people would bring us that mullet later on in the day for us to eat. A Green New Deal means healing our bay and restoring the natural abundance that has allowed people and cultures to thrive here for millennia. We need a Green New Deal that invests in taking care and healing our water and the people who make a living from it. That can only happen if we stop the drilling and the fracking and the pipelines that threaten us with spills, and we have to stop fueling hurricane seasons that get longer and more destructive. In that world, we can go back out there and come back with nets full of shrimp, have oysters spilling over the side of people's boats because there's so many thriving in the water. We never have to replace another rural economy with a prison. We're gonna look at the world in abundance, and we're gonna create an abundance of possibilities. Joe Biden. For my community, for Carabel, for the Gulf South, pass a Green New Deal.